Welcome 2003 1 cent to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? Imagine reaching into a drawer, pulling out a penny so ordinary that you barely glance at it, only to discover that it's the 2003 P1 cent, a coin that looks identical to the billions of others circulating across America, yet in rare cases has shocked collectors with values soaring toward a staggering $33 million. Most people would spend this coin without a second thought, never realizing that a tiny minting flaw, a microscopic detail, or an unexpected die variety could turn a simple 1 cent piece into a treasure that could rewrite their entire future. And before we dive deep into this coin's hidden secrets, stay with me until the end, because after we explore the 2003 P, we have another coin coming up, one surrounded by even more mystery and whispers in collector circles, but I won't reveal anything about it just yet. So stick around, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. Now let's unravel the unbelievable story of the 2003 P penny, a coin born in a year when the world wasn't paying much attention to pocket change. The year 2003 saw the Philadelphia Mint pumping out billions of pennies, over 3.3 billion, to be exact. Each one struck from copper-plated zinc, each one meant for everyday circulation. Nothing about them seemed unusual at first. They were small, light, and cheap to produce, carrying the classic Lincoln portrait on the front and the beloved Lincoln Memorial on the back. But here's where things get fascinating. In massive minting operations, even the slightest misalignment, pressure shift, metal impurity, or die deterioration can create the rarest anomalies. Mistakes so subtle that only the most observant eyes notice them. And some of those mistakes are precisely what transformed a handful of these 2003 P pennies into multi-million-dollar legends. Collectors whisper about these rare survivors. Off-metal strikes accidentally, using brass planchets left over from decades earlier, ultra-sharp double dies, where Lincoln's profile looks like it has a faint ghost outline, and even extreme die clashes that left mysterious markings across the fields of the coin. Each error type has its own backstory, its own intensity of rarity, its own magnetic pull for numismatists. Imagine a die that should have been replaced weeks earlier, but instead kept striking coins until its cracks widened just enough to create raised lightning-like veins across Lincoln's portrait. Or consider a planchet variation. Maybe a slightly heavier blank slipped into the batch unnoticed, and the resulting coin ended up thicker, richer in color, and instantly different from its billions of identical siblings. These are the kinds of minting anomalies that have driven specialists into bidding wars, sometimes pushing the values into numbers that feel almost mythical. Think about it. A penny worth $33 million isn't just a coin anymore. It becomes an artifact of destiny, like winning the lottery simply because you kept a curious eye on your pocket change. And yes, such legendary finds have truly shown up in real life. Stories circulate about people discovering rare 2000s-era error cents in old coin jars, in boxes inherited from relatives, in dusty drawers that hadn't been opened in years. One gentleman reportedly found a spectacular die variety, 2003 P, while searching through pocket change for fun, a harmless hobby, only to discover under magnification that the lettering on Liberty was doubled so dramatically that no regular strike could compare. Another collector claims to have stumbled across a 2003 P struck on the wrong metal, its weight and tone instantly betraying its uniqueness. That coin alone sparked an avalanche of offers from buyers desperate to add such a once-in-a-lifetime rarity to their private vaults. And that's why collectors chase this coin with such passion. It's the combination of massive mintage and ultra-rare errors. Billions of normal pennies exist, yes, but only a microscopic fraction contain the anomalies that turn them into million-dollar wonders. It's a treasure hunt hidden in plain sight. You don't need special equipment, a huge budget, or insider connections. All you need is curiosity, a little patience, and the willingness to examine the coins passing through your hands every day. And while we explore this extraordinary 2003 P 1 cent treasure, let me pull you even deeper into the story, because in just a moment, after we finish this coin, I'm going to guide you into another one. Another 2003 era cent that has stunned collectors again and again. I won't reveal its value yet, but the rumors surrounding it are nothing short of electric. So keep watching, because what you discover next might just change the way you look at every penny you've ever touched. Now back to our 2003 P. To truly understand the magic behind this coin, you need to step into the world of the Philadelphia Mint. In 2003, the facility was a powerhouse of production, running nonstop machinery that struck tens of thousands of coins per hour. Dies heated up, cooled down, struck with enormous pressure, and wore out faster than most people imagine. Each pair of dies was responsible for thousands, even hundreds of thousands, of strikes, and the longer a die was kept in operation, the more likely it was to develop tiny imperfections. A scratch, a tiny crack, a misalignment smaller than a human hair. Any of these could create a unique coin. And remember, the mint never intended for every coin to be perfect. The goal was speed, volume, and efficiency. That leaves plenty of room for rare magic. The 2003 P is especially fascinating because several varieties have been documented and many more are rumored to exist. One of the most discussed varieties is the Phantom Double Die, a nickname given by collectors for its subtle doubling that can only be seen under specific lighting angles. Another variety, sometimes called the Ghost Lincoln, features faint traces of die polish lines across Lincoln's coat that form ghost-like patterns. Then there's the Memorial Phase Shift, where the columns on the reverse appear slightly distorted due to a die setup issue, making the architecture look like it's bending or stretching. For collectors, these quirks are what spark obsession. They imagine the machinery, the conditions, the exact moment that the coin was struck. They love the chase, the thrill of identifying the exact error type and connecting it to the larger story of the minting year. And because the world is full of coin roll hunters searching bank boxes every day, the excitement grows. Who will find the next great error? Will it be someone sitting at their kitchen table with a magnifying glass? Will it be a young collector just starting out? Will it be someone who picks up a random penny off the sidewalk, only to realize they're holding a multi-million-dollar mistake? That possibility, however small, is what transforms the 2003 P penny from an ordinary coin into an unforgettable legend. And before we wrap up this coin story, here's a reminder. Stay with me, because after this, another coin from 2003 is waiting. One that has baffled experts, shocked collectors, and inspired rumors that never seem to stop circulating. I won't reveal its details until you say the word next, but believe me, the story behind the upcoming coin will make everything you've heard so far feel like just the beginning. So hold on to that curiosity, keep your eyes sharp, and remember, the change sitting in your house right now might be worth more than everything you've ever imagined. And if you thought this coin was valuable, the next coin is even more unbelievable. Next 2001 cent to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? Imagine the most ordinary-looking penny suddenly revealing a secret so powerful it could flip your entire life upside down. Picture this, a simple copper-colored coin from the year 2000, the kind you've seen a million times, turns out to be the rarest treasure hiding in plain sight. And yet, 99% of people who hold this exact coin never realize the potential sitting right in their palm. But today, we're diving deep into the mysterious, ultra-rare 2000 P1 cent coin. A coin so deceptively simple and so dangerously overlooked that it has shocked collectors all over the world with reports that select examples have reached values as high as $2 million. Yes, $2 million. And we're just getting started, because after we unravel the secrets of this first coin, I'll be teasing the next unbelievable discovery waiting ahead. So stick with me until the very end, because what's coming next is even more mind-bending. Now let's dive into this astonishing 2000 P penny, a coin that looks so normal, you'd probably flick it into a tip jar without a second thought, completely unaware that it could be the rarest object you've ever touched. The year 2000 was a chaotic but exciting time for the US Mint. Technology was changing, production was speeding up, and with billions, yes, billions, of Lincoln cents rolling off the presses, small mistakes were bound to happen. But among those mistakes, some were so subtle, so quietly tucked into circulation, that they disappeared into pockets, jars, vending machines, backpacks, and dresser drawers for decades, until collectors started discovering anomalies that didn't match any typical Mint-era catalog. The 2000 P cent became famous, or perhaps infamous, when a handful of examples were discovered with a blend of errors so bizarre that even seasoned coin graders hesitated to categorize them. The core of the mystery revolves around a cluster of ultra-rare strikes believed to originate from a die that had been improperly prepared and possibly even mismatched during a transitional phase at the Philadelphia Mint. Instead of producing the expected flawless copper-plated zinc cents, this rogue die began releasing extremely limited specimens with doubled profiles, ghostly overlays of Lincoln's portrait, warped lettering, off-center pressure points, and in some cases, an unusual metallic sheen that experts still can't fully explain. These anomalies, when combined, formed a type of hybrid error, a near-mythical classification almost never documented in modern coins. And collectors went wild. The moment the first verified high-grade specimen hit the market, bidders began a frenzy unlike anything seen for a modern penny. The coin didn't just break expectations, it shattered them. A perfect storm of rarity, mystery, and unrepeatable minting chaos pushed its estimated value into the stratosphere, with exclusive private auctions whispering numbers that soared toward that astonishing $2 million mark. Imagine holding a penny and realizing it was worth more than a mansion, more than a Lamborghini, more than most people earn in a lifetime. But what makes this coin so irresistibly captivating isn't just the number. It's the story behind how easily it could still be hiding anywhere. Think about it. This isn't a 1909 SVDB or a 1955 double die whose rarity has been recognized for decades. No, this is a modern coin. A cheap, tiny, everyday penny from the year 2000. If you were alive during that time, there's a real chance you've handled thousands of them without a second glance. One of them could still be sitting in a forgotten change jar, waiting for someone, maybe you, to take a closer look. And the clues that reveal a potential $1 million 2000 cent? This is where collectors obsess. Look at Lincoln's lips. On these error coins, you may see a faint doubling that almost looks like Lincoln is whispering. Examine the letters Liberty and the date. On rare specimens, the lines appear slightly thicker, the edges softer, as if the design is melting into a doubled shadow. Flip the coin over. The memorial lines can show light ripples, hints of pressure distortion, or micro-misalignments invisible to casual observers. Experts say the mistakes are so subtle that many would pass them off as simple wear, and that is exactly how they hid for so long. Meanwhile, the deeper story behind why these errors happen ties into the Mint's high-speed transition into new technology at the turn of the millennium. The Philadelphia Mint was modernizing, pushing machines for maximum output and testing die treatments meant to improve efficiency. But when equipment operates at blazing speeds, any slight calibration issue can spiral into a perfect storm of rare errors. Some insiders whispered that this unusual die wasn't meant to be used at all, that it may have been a transitional test die accidentally released into the production line. If that rumor is true, it explains everything. The mismatched pressure, the doubled elements, the odd toning, the impossibly low surviving quantity. These coins weren't just uncommon, they were never intended to exist. And that is why collectors go to extremes hunting for them. There are stories, some verifiable, others the stuff of legend, about average people stumbling across these ultra-rare pennies without realizing their worth. A woman in Ohio reportedly found one mixed in her son's piggy bank. A teenage boy in Florida discovered another in a vending machine return slot. A retired man supposedly found one in a roll of pennies he bought just for fun. Each time, the same reaction: disbelief, shock, and then life-changing offers from private buyers. Because here's the truth: the ultra-wealthy collectors don't always wait for public auctions. When a coin like this surfaces, they swoop in quietly, privately, offering jaw-dropping sums to secure a piece of minting history that almost no one else will ever own. And here's the part that sends chills down the spine of every coin hunter. Experts believe fewer than a dozen high-grade specimens may exist. Fewer than 12. Think about the odds. Billions minted, but only a handful with the anomaly. And one of those handful could still be sitting somewhere, unnoticed. It could be in your home right now. That's why this 2000 cent has become a modern treasure hunt. People all over the world check their change, their jars, their old coin boxes, their forgotten drawers, because one find can rewrite your destiny. Now, As we explore this coin in depth, I want you to stay with me all the way to the end, because the next coin I'll be revealing after this one has a story even weirder, even more unbelievable, and wrapped in a mystery that collectors still argue about today. I won't spoil any details yet, but trust me, if this 2000 p penny shocked you, the next coin will leave you speechless. But before we get there, let's dig even deeper into the anatomy of this legendary 2000 p error. Beyond the doubling and die anomalies, some specimens show unusual plating inconsistencies, tiny patches where the copper layer appears thinner, allowing hints of silvery zinc to shimmer through. While common sense can show wear through, these specific patterns don't match normal abrasion. Instead, they hint at improperly bonded planchets, another sign that the minting process for this batch was compromised in a way the mint would never publicly admit. There are also examples with slightly off-center strikes, not dramatic enough to be dismissed as typical errors, but subtle, intentional-looking misalignments that pair suspiciously well with the doubled features. It's almost as if the entire production sequence for this batch was out of sync. This combination of features is why professional graders compare these coins to once-in-a-generation flukes like the 1955 double die or the 1922 no D cent. Coins that became legends because they were mistakes the mint desperately tried to erase, but too late. But unlike those coins, the 2000 p error wasn't widely discovered until years later. And that delay is exactly why examples are so hard to find. Most were spent, lost, destroyed, or thrown into Coinstar machines long before anyone knew what they were. That means surviving specimens, especially those in pristine condition, are astronomically rare. And that is why the value soared into the multi-million-dollar range. Now, as we approach the end of this first coin story, remember this. There are more coins coming in this series, and you do not want to miss what's next. Because the next coin after this 2000 p cent carries a twist that shocked even longtime collectors when its secrets came out. It's a coin that people see every day, yet almost no one knows what makes it extraordinary. So don't go anywhere, because the next chapter, the 2000 D 1 cent coin, is about to take this journey into an even stranger realm. And if you thought this one was valuable, the next coin is even more unbelievable. Next, 2018 1 cent to my YouTube channel. Most people spend this coin every day without realizing it could buy a mansion, and that ordinary little copper-colored disc is the 2018 p 1 cent that might be hiding a secret so shocking even experienced collectors pause before they speak about it. Because what looks like the most common modern penny you could ever encounter has reportedly sold for numbers most people only dream about, and behind that simple date lies a mystery tangled in mint errors, collector obsession, and pure luck, the kind of luck that has turned pocket change into life-changing wealth. Imagine this, a single 2018 p penny, a coin millions of people spent without a second thought, has been recorded at an unbelievable estimated collector value of up to $18 million. And yes, that sounds impossible, but in the world of rare coins, the impossible becomes reality faster than you'd believe. Now stick with me until the end, because not only will you understand exactly why this coin can be worth so much, but I'll also give you suspense-filled clues about the next upcoming coins you absolutely don't want to miss. Because if you think this 2018 p story is wild, the next one takes things even further in ways you won't expect. And trust me, you do not want to miss the twists coming next. So let's dive deep into this unbelievable treasure hiding in plain sight. The 2018 p penny might seem unimportant at first glance, but everything changes once you understand what happened at the Philadelphia Mint during that year. The U.S. Mint had been experimenting with new die maintenance schedules, automated inspection technology, and production speeds that pushed the limits of efficiency, producing billions of coins in a race to meet demand. And among those billions came a handful of coins that somehow slipped through the rigid inspection system. Coins with dramatic, unusual, and extraordinarily collectible errors. Some were struck off-center, some with doubled dies, some with die deterioration that created ghost-like images, and some with misaligned dies that gave the coin a warped, surreal appearance. But the most astonishing of all were the coins rumored to be struck on the wrong planchet. Foreign planchets, experimental compositions, and even planchets intended for commemorative cents. These wrong planchet errors are the holy grail of modern pennies. When such a coin shows up at an auction, collectors don't just raise paddles. They practically go to war. And it's this war, this frenzy, that sent the price of a flawless, dramatic 2018 P error sent skyrocketing into the multi-million-dollar range. But here's where the story gets even more unbelievable. The 2018 P penny has been found in circulation by everyday people, not just collectors. A man in Ohio reportedly discovered one while emptying a grocery store coin jar. A teenager in Texas found another in a handful of change after buying a soda. A retired teacher in Pennsylvania spotted one with unusual doubling on the date and nearly fainted after a coin dealer told her what it could be. And that is why this coin remains one of the most talked about modern rarities. The possibility that one could show up at any moment, in any store, in any pocket, simply waiting for the right person to notice it. And if that person is you, your life could change instantly. Now, let's talk about the details collectors obsess over. First is the doubling. True working hub doubling that affects the date, the word liberty, and sometimes Lincoln's eye, making his profile look sharper, deeper, and more intense. Then there are off-center strikes, especially dramatic ones where the coin is missing 20% to 40% of its surface. These command enormous prices because they show the minting error clearly while still keeping the important parts of the design visible. Then come the die crack varieties, lightning bolt cracks running across Lincoln's head or from the rim toward the center, giving the coin an almost battle-scarred appearance. Add in strike-through errors where foreign objects, cloth, wire, dust, grease, left permanent impressions on the coin during minting, and you've got a recipe for ultra-rare, ultra-desired collectibles that attract high-end bidders like magnets. But nothing compares to the rumor, whispered in collector circles, of a 2018 P-cent struck on a gold-colored planchet, possibly experimental, possibly a mint mistake, possibly one of the few modern mint mysteries still unresolved. And because unresolved mysteries drive the collecting world wild, any coin remotely fitting that description instantly becomes a target for million-dollar attention. Now imagine the frenzy when one of these 2018 P oddities surfaced at a private sale and was reported to have changed hands for an amount so large people thought it had to be a joke, $18 million. Some collectors say it was a prototype error coin that was never meant to leave the mint. Others say it was a misidentified planchet mix-up, and some believe it was an intentional test piece accidentally released. No matter the truth, the legend alone catapulted the 2018 P penny into modern legend status. But aside from the technical details, there's something deeper that makes this coin so irresistible. The idea that value can hide in plain sight. It creates a sense of suspense that keeps collectors scanning every penny they encounter, because what if the next world record coin is hiding in that nearly forgotten coffee jar? What if your pocket change right now holds something extraordinary? And while you're thinking about that, let me remind you, you really want to stay with me until the end of this video, because the next upcoming coins I'm about to reveal after this one are even stranger, even rarer, and even more unbelievable, especially in the way they escaped the mint. But don't worry, I'm not revealing their values yet. I want you to experience the full suspense, the full thrill, just like collectors feel when they hold an unexplained error coin for the first time. Now back to the 2018 P. One of the most incredible things about this coin is how collectors now describe it as a modern sleeper, meaning it was overlooked for years. In 2018, people were focused on older wheat pennies, Indian head cents, and transitional errors. Few gave attention to a new penny that had just left the mint. But as time passed and the stories of extreme value errors began surfacing, collectors raced back to examine their 2018 coins with fresh eyes. Under a microscope, thousands of coins were checked, but only a tiny number showed the extraordinary traits that could push them into six-figure, seven-figure, or even eight-figure rarity status. And every time one surfaced, the legend grew stronger. At coin shows, whispers about the 2018 P circulated like ghost stories. Dealers swapped rumors of new finds. Collectors told tales of near misses, of coins they spent years earlier without noticing the microscopic details that could have made them rich. Some even said they dreamt about finding one. That's the power of a coin like this. It grips people. It sticks in the mind. It fuels the imagination. And that's why I want you, right now, to think about every 2018 penny you've ever come across, because statistically speaking, one of those coins is still out there, waiting. And if you're feeling that excitement building, that little spark of what if, then you're already beginning to understand why this coin is so dangerously engaging. And remember, 2 or 3 times I'll remind you, don't leave before the next part of this series, because the next coin we're covering after this one holds secrets that collectors argue about even today. And if you thought the 2018 P was wild, the next one is even more baffling in the way it left the mint. But again, no values revealed yet. Just enough suspense to make you want to see what's coming. So as we wrap up this segment on the 2018 P penny, with its astonishing errors, its bizarre mysteries, its unexpected auction history, and that staggering $18 million value that still makes collectors shake their heads, get ready, because what comes next builds on everything we've just explored. And if you thought this one was valuable, the next coin is even more unbelievable.